All right. Welcome to the live stream. I think we're gonna do a quick overview of the week, and especially on the open. Um, I think a lot of things have are happening right now. Um, but I think mainly uh, the most interesting thing happening right now is that oil is back at 100, and it's like 5% up on pre-market, and it just tells a lot. It's basically oil reacting to news, to the fact that there couldn't be a deal, they couldn't reach a deal, peace deal, the United States and Iran. So um, it's basically the war is still ongoing, and it's been difficulties trying uh, to continue to make a peace deal. So it looks like to be a war that's going to be difficult to get out from, and it's just a quagmire. It's like it's not a place where the United States wants to be right now. Considering the oil prices, considering a lot of things. It just basically dug America just dug itself to a place that just cannot get dug, cannot get outside, cannot get out from. It's just basically a snowball. It's like a catastrophe upon catastrophe, and we can see this just by the mere open. It's just we can see here a little bit here that Bitcoin did before the markets open, for the futures open, just did a quick dive, and then it recovered. And once it opened, you know, Bitcoin just basically did Bitcoin things, which is basically just do the complete opposite of what everybody was expecting, right? So before the open, it was around like minus like half a point, minus half a point on US Nasdaq futures on the weekend. So once it opened, it just did the completely opposite, and just and basically just hunted and ran all the stops. Reached out 282, and and then some more, right? Just 280, 300, which is basically right. So everybody that wanted to short here, for example, and just want to short, and they place their stops above like 80, probably like 82 at tops, and this one just got ran over basically, right here, and people have started to short, and then we got here a standard, like a deviation here. It's like you got a top, and then this like deviation here, and then going back down again, right? So yeah, I mean, it's a classic pump and dump type of trade here. Your classic weekend pump and dump. So yeah, I mean, I think uh, this past week is a lot has happened. Um, Bitcoin is still struggling to break 81, 82, despite the Nasdaq literally making fresh new all-time highs every single day. Bitcoin is still struggling to break this like 81, 82 range. That's I think pretty telling. You know that's because just like I said before, just like I said before, that Bitcoin is ever since October 10th, it just entered a internal bear market. So independent of macro, independent of whether Nasdaq and the whole market wide makes fresh new all-time highs, Bitcoin is still going to struggle because of these event that happened on October 10th that basically took out a lot of market makers and just basically reset it and just like a lot of like loss of confidence in Bitcoin happened ever since, and people been very cautious and very skeptical towards uh, investing back in again, you know. And we can somehow see that, on we can see that whenever it reaches 81, 82, people are just rather like skeptical to go all in. Whenever it reaches 81, 82, looks like people are not fully confident in buying those levels, despite the stocks making fresh new all-time highs. So we all know that the stock market's not the real economy, and we are right. That it's a clear example that the things are just going very disparate ways, in very opposite ways. In a very like a K-shaped economy, in a sense, right? So this is what we are seeing right now. This is a K-shaped economy, and stocks going out some highs, and people are calling for a reversal, and people are calling for tops already. And yeah, I mean it's it, it's crazy right now how it's strange how stocks are making fresh all-time highs every single day. Yet we are in very like tense geopolitical situation. We are in very uncertain geopolitical times, and not only that, but also like in domestic, like on the jobs. AI threaten white collar jobs and threaten like this um, sector of society that Wall Street relies so much on, and and then you got inflation, and then like the COVID inflation never really uh, went, you know, never really disappeared, and the Fed struggling with sticky inflation, and then you got the debt, and it's like like when you sum all of these things together, how is how the stocks are still rallying? You know what I mean? Like still making a lot of sense. I think, right? So you got stocks rallying, you got Bitcoin just uh like ranging from like on the top and just unable to break out because there's not that liquidity. People are not just interested in it anymore. There's not, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of where things happen is just look at, for me, it's a bear market. For me, Bitcoin is still in the bear market despite being 80,000. You can see there's a lot of like manipulation. I think one of the staples to like one of the ways to identify whether we are in a bear market, whether we are in a crypto bear market or not, is uh, heavy heavy manipulation because there's like a lower liquidity, and it's like the people, all the crooks and all the big people start to get in, and then retail is just like wiped out. So all the crooks and all people, the big guys, just it's easier to manipulate the price on bear markets because of lower liquidity and right and just lower participants on altogether. So that's my take. That's my current take on Bitcoin. Um, I don't think it's gonna go much higher than this, um, considering all things that are happening. But who knows, right? Like, who knows what could happen. Um, you know, considering it's like considering like the stock market making all-time highs and among other things, right? So we're just gonna take a quick look on the 4-hour time frame. Um, I think that's one gonna be pretty telling to understand. Um, so just gonna wait a little bit for it to load, and then So yeah, I mean, you just can see here like the past couple of weeks, it's been you can tell here like it's been basically this like only like up only, right? For a stock market. Um, which is crazy, right? It's like completely crazy, you know. It just keep going up, you know. It just kept going up. Like it broke like 28 and just went up for 29. That to me like a solid strength, solid buying strength for equities. Um, that's a quite all right. Here you guys, so here, so here, and so yeah. I mean, so this is what happened. So we are on oil. I think it's 115, 116 top here. Maybe can go. Uh, we can go take the highs again. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's been kind of it's not been pretty logical at all, you know, all things considered, you know, like how oil kept going up and the stocks also kept going up, just didn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Just look at this, like it's crazy, really. Like it's just been like so disconnected from everything else, you know. And yeah, I mean, this 5% on the open is certainly concerning, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, just we can see here like Bitcoin just crashing and just did what typically Bitcoin behavior, like just drove up the price and then just did did the deed, you know, did Bitcoin did what it was supposed to do, uh, you know, reacting to considering the news, right, and considering the oil surge here. So it's rather concerning, right? So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the correlation between the Nasdaq and Bitcoin. So we've been seeing a consistent rise, consistent uh, push higher on stocks, but Bitcoin has been lagging pretty much. Here it hit a pretty solid top on 82, 700, and then it kept going up, but Bitcoin still struggled here. You know, there was no liquidity on Friday, no liquidity on Thursday, right? It was just dry, right? Just people are not buying here. People were not buying. Some people were ready to buy, you know, on they were betting that for a breakout, but it just didn't happen. It just went instantly down. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things can happen, starting this week. One of the things is that the stock the stock market could keep going up. It's gonna adopt a way to see um, approach, considering that we are in never before seen levels, and we're just gonna see how this whole conflict develops, really, because I think it's gonna be an interesting week, probably a painful week for many, and we're gonna see how it develops, you know, all things considered. And I mean, if you zoom out if you zoom out this chart and if you just take a look, um, it's been pretty bullish. It's been a pretty bullish chart, all things considered, right? Just look how bottoms they don't looks just like they don't go here, just stay above this level, and that's basically the recipe for a bullish chart for a bullish trend, right? So it's been pretty bullish in my opinion. Like if you zoom out, um, it's been relatively bullish. Just look here, right? Here, people bought here 74, and then all the bottoms have been right. So we could see. I mean, if it breaks this level, it's like probably over, right? So if this thing dips again for the bullish thesis, for the bullish trend to continue, the price needs to be probably could hit like probably like lower here, right? Or yeah, and then continue up or something like that, right? And this will be like the limit. So if it goes down below this level, it's probably concerning thing, reasons to be to concern. So yeah, I mean, just gotta be careful, and that's basically my take on the previous week and a little bit of analysis and on predictions and for next week. So right, people, just take care, and we'll see you next week.